I'm realizing now that I never really filmed like a intro or like anything to kind of like specify like what I'm really doing. So my name is Daphne. I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, I always forget what I'm doing. Like my memory is so bad for whatever reason. Anyways, my name is Daphne, and I'm going to start trying to post some daily vlogs. One, because I feel like it'll help my sisters and I get along. You know, like out in public, you usually try to get along with your sisters so that you don't look like you like are a, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like so you look like a functional family. So I feel like that might help with the case of like we don't always get along. I also feel like it'll give me something to do throughout the day because I'm always like really bored. It'll be probably more story times than vlogs because like I talk a lot. I literally will have a conversation with myself. It's bad. Anyways, yeah, so that's like part of the reason why I want to do it. Plus, my sister and I have been talking about doing vlogs for a really long time, but like we've just never actually done them. So I feel like it's a great way to get started. I wanted to start on like their first week of school, but I was like out of it. I was in the hospital. I was sick, and that story's in here somewhere. So this will be our first vlog. It's like forever long, but it's because it turned into story time. And tomorrow will be our official like first vlog for the day. So I plan on doing it daily, but these are like the last 3 weeks because I really wanted to start the first week of school and I missed that opportunity. So this is to make up for those 3 weeks and go ahead and get us started. So like we'll officially start tomorrow, and tomorrow I will post the first one, and I'll work on being active and posting every day. Peace out. Thanks for support. Granted, this is the first one, so probably not a lot today, but hopefully as time goes by, I mean, I don't even really care about if people watch it. I just care about if it builds our relationship because we all fight so much, and I feel like it might help us build our relationship. It might help us learn to get along, which is always good. So that sums this up, and enjoy the video, I guess. Hey guys! So I'm on my way to take this one to school. Say hi. This is my little sister, Xandra. She's in middle school. Do you feel big? Does middle school make you feel big? Why would it matter? It doesn't make you feel big? Yes, no, maybe? Why does it matter? Because I'm asking. This is your second week of school or third? I think it's the second week of school. I think I was only in the hospital for a week. I know, is it your second? It might be your second. I mean, your third. Yeah, it's her third week of school. I wasn't here. What'd you forget? What'd you forget?
I kind of sort of forgot my agenda.
How badly do you need it?
Every single class I have to write homework down.
What time is it?
9:04.
Are you sure that clock is right?
9:03.
And classes start at 9:15?
I don't know, just go. It might be in my locker.
Are you sure?
It might be. If not, I'll just
Well, we
write
can
it.
go back to the house because we got time right now. But if we get down here and you change your mind, we won't have time. So what do you want to do?
If it's not at home, it's in Mom's car. If it's not in Mom's car, then it's in my locker.
Do they do agenda comments?
No.
So when I was in middle school, and I went to different middle school because we just recently moved. But when I was in middle school, they did these things called agenda comments. So like anytime like you did anything that they frowned upon, they'd put a little note in your agenda, and the teacher would put their little signature on it. You can't see me. I'm so freaking white. I'm sorry. Anyway, they would put a comment in your agenda, and like once you got 3, it was a detention. I can't tell you how many detentions I got for stupid reasons, like my parents not signing my report card, or not signing my agenda, or not signing my homework, because my reading teacher, you had to sign your homework like
proving that you did it and that somebody else didn't do it, proving that your parents watched you do it. Like, we're in middle school. Our parents shouldn't have to watch us do our homework, but whatever. So, like, we would get these stupid agenda comments. And if you got 3, you got a detention. If you got 4, it was, like, contact home. If you got 5, it was a referral. 6, it was a suspension. And, like, it just added on. And I can't tell you how many kids got in trouble for agenda comments that were, like, stupid. At the same time, we had this thing on our agendas, and it was like the 5 P's, like prompt, proud, productive, prepared, and polite. And whenever you represented something like that, the teacher would sign it. You think we're gonna make it? You think we're gonna make it? You think we're gonna make it? You looked concerned. Anyway,
Weird.
the teachers would sign it. And you would try to get a bingo. I was always the kid that had detention, but I always had a bingo too. So, like, it was always, like, very contradicting. It never made any sense. But that's okay, I think. Is that okay? Do you think that's okay?
Go straight and then turn right after this.
I need you to tell me which way I need to go to pick you up, because I've never picked you up from school. Because I've been in the hospital.
Go to Little Darlings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Picking you up? No, you have to go down a different street. The speed limit's like 15. We're in a school zone, and I kind of forgot about that.
actually, you have to pick me up at the school because today there's cheer.
Oh, so you're gonna be staying after?
Yeah.
So it'll be easy getting her after school because she has cheer auditions. Auditions, or did you already know if you make the team?
We aren't even doing auditions yet.
Then what are
We're
you
still
doing?
learning.
Wait, I'm confused. Aren't auditions the learning process? Don't they just observe how well you learn and
No.
make okay? Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about. Is this my turn?
No, you go straight.
See?
And then you turn right.
I am like so far behind because. Oops. Can you pick that up? You guys fell. I'm so far behind because like I've been in and out of the hospital for the past 2 weeks or maybe 3. I don't even remember. Because I had meningitis and then like they were like, oh, you have a post-spinal tap headache and so on and so forth. So like I am behind. And I'm supposed to be taking this one to school until I get a job. So next week we might start biking down here because excuse me, because it'll just be beneficial so that you can get familiar with riding your bike down here, and I don't have to worry about you when I get a job because I'm gonna start applying for jobs. I just recently graduated. I had a summer job, so like I didn't worry about jobs. And then like my sister's first day of school, I was like, oh, I'll drive you to school, and on the way like I'll pick up an application for the daycare near us. But I didn't take her to school because I was too sick to drive. Where is your school? I thought it was a shorter drive last time I brought you. And you guys keep falling, so this just isn't working. How many stop signs are there? Oh, I didn't go this way last time, did I?
No.
So is this the way I need to go in the afternoon to pick you up?
No. This is just like the way to where all the. This is how the line
Why are there
starts.
so many stop signs? I don't understand. So if you didn't understand, I said that we moved just recently. We were still moving our stuff on their first day of school. So like this is all completely new to me as well. So like I'm seeing everything around here for the first time. This is your school, right?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
Seriously? Every time I come to the line.
That's the way I came last time I got you.
Yeah, but lately everybody's been going that way. So I thought, hey, maybe the line starts that way.
I think the line's supposed to start that way so that you're not like cutting people off to get in line. But like a lot of people don't care, and especially in like parent pickup lines, they just want the kid out of the car so they can go do whatever they have to do. Like I want you out of the car so I can just start applying for
I'm going
jobs.
up there. I'm too lazy.
I don't like. You don't have to wear an ID at the school.
We still haven't even gotten pictures taken.
Okay. Okay. You see, I'm behind. Like I'm just now realizing she's not wearing an ID, and like our school district, like, if you're not wearing your ID, like, you could get suspended for not wearing your ID. Like,
I never had to wear my ID in middle school last year.
That's true. I think it was just my high school. Like, my high school, if you didn't wear your ID, you got CDA, which is Character Development Academy, and it's a stupid thing. But anyway, you got Character Development Academy, you got detentions, you got referrals, like, you name it, you got it. And if you didn't bring your ID, you always had to buy a new one. So, like, a lot of kids would end up on the fine list with, like, $50 because they forget their ID.
Bye.
Look, this person already got out of their car,
Bye,
and now they
Dummy.
have to wait for you to get out.
Ah, I'm stuck. Okay. Bye, Dummy.
I love you.
Love you more.
And Zizi will be home later today.
So, I guess it's story time because I'm telling you guys I've been in the hospital and I haven't really explained why. Well, I guess I did on the way to my sister's school. So, for those of you who don't know, meningitis is like, and I'm no like expert, so don't take my word for it. But anyway, meningitis is like a bacteria or like something that's not supposed to be in your fluids that travel like up your spine and into your brain. Well, I had viral meningitis, so there was no like medication for it. There was no way to treat it. You just had to fight it on your own. But it hurt so bad because like you get these pounding headaches. And I have chronic migraines, so like to put that on top of that, like it was bad. Anyways, I went into the hospital because I was like, Dad, like, take me to, I said Central Care. I said, take me to Central Care or Urgent Care or something like that. And, like, my dad's like, I'm not taking you there. Like, I can't do anything for you. You could just go back to bed. So I went back to bed. And, like, this is common because when I get migraines, I'm allergic to pain. Like, stub my toe, I think I'm dying. But it's common for me to get migraines and it's common for me to react that way. But it just kept going. So, like, I went out there at, like, 7 o'clock in the morning. I was like, Dad, I'm dying. Like, take me to the emergency room. Not the emergency. Urgent care. And he told me to go back to bed. So I went back to bed. But I couldn't really fall asleep. She wants candy. It was too early for candy. You want the bear? No? Yeah? Here you go. Sorry, giving her the bear. I need to make my bed. That's part of my morning routine. Maybe I'll do a morning routine video. This is my first vlog, though. And I feel like I'm just being really boring. I was telling a story. Let's see. So I went back to bed, and then I woke up a couple hours later, and I was like, Dad, it's bad. Like, help me. And I mean, I'm in tears. Like, you could tell I'm in pain. And he's just like, baby, I don't know what to tell you. Go get in the pool. Maybe it'll help wash your face really good. Submerge yourself completely in the water, like, blah, 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 blah. So I went, I put my swimsuit on. The most painful thing I've ever done in my life, because, like, I had to bend down, obviously. And, you know, you gotta, like, swimsuits can be impossible to put on, and they can be very easy. And at the time, the swimsuit I had is kind of difficult to do by yourself. Like, I always have to ask my sister to tie it, but she was at school, because it was the first day of school. So I was just like, okay, whatever, like, blah, 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 blah. So went and put on a swimsuit, got in the water. I didn't even stay in the water for like 5 minutes before I came inside, and I was like in tears. I came to my room. I didn't even change. I sat down on my floor, and I had my arm on my forehead, and my arm was on my bed, but I was not sitting on my bed. Like, I was leaning over my bed because I was just that, like, in that much pain. And my dad walked by, and I'm just crying, laying on the edge of my bed, and he's like, dude, like, change. Get in bed, take a nap, like, bleh. And so I changed, and I laid in my bed. See, like, this is where I get aggravated, because I told my dad, like, take me. But I always tell him to take me when I get headaches anyway, and then they're gone the next day. But I also don't have medication for my migraines anymore, because I don't see the neurologist anymore. It's probably something I should start doing again. But I hate doctors. I think we all do. Anyways, I woke up one more time, and I already told you guys we're in the process of moving. So my dad and my mom were loading up the cars. They were going to go to our other house to finish grabbing some stuff to bring it here to our new house. And I walked out in tears, and my dad finally looked at my mom and said, take her to the emergency room. More because he couldn't do the whining anymore than because, like, he wanted me to go. They did the test, and the way they test for meningitis is like a spinal tap. First of all, when I got to the emergency room, they did not hesitate. They scanned my ID and they took me straight back. Like, I didn't fill out any paperwork. Like, I probably should have. Maybe I was already on file. I don't really know. But I could barely stand by the time we got to the emergency room. So, I guess that's hold on. Okay. And they kept asking me a bunch of questions, and I was just like looking at them like, dude, do you really think I want to answer these questions? I'm sore. I feel like I'm dying. Just take care of me. Let me go home. No, they didn't let me go home. They actually admitted me. They admitted me. There you go, baby. Sorry, she wanted her TV. They admitted me before they did the spinal tap. And the nurse was like, I want to do a spinal tap. And then the other person was like, we're going to admit you. And she was like, so my mom goes, so what about the spinal tap? Like, the other nurse wanted to do one. And they're like, I don't think we need to, but let's go talk to her. And then the other nurse came back, like, less than 5 minutes later, and she had all this stuff to do with spinal tap. And this was one of the most painful experiences of my life. So, what they do is, and they explained it to me, they're like, oh, it's just like getting an epidural. And I'm like, I've never had a kid, like, I don't know what that's like. But this is how this goes. They numb your back like they would if, like, they were working on your teeth, which didn't feel very nice. And then they take an even bigger needle. I didn't get to see it because it's my back. Anyway, and they stick it in your spine, and they pull out some fluids, and they take it for testing. So they did that, and the testing came back, and it was negative for bacterial, but I had viral meningitis. I was in so much pain. I mean, I was in so much pain. But then the EMS got there. Oh, you know what? I gotta connect her to my hotspot because we don't have Wi-Fi yet. So I'll be right back. Ah! So, like, I forgot where I left off. Oh, yes. So they transported me to the actual hospital because I told you I went to the emergency room. And they don't admit you in the emergency room because that's just for, like, a couple hours, monitor and whatnot. So they admitted me to the emergency room where I stayed for 3 days. And, like, people would come and visit, and they'd be like, so why aren't you watching TV? Why aren't you doing this? Like, you must be bored. And I'm like, dude, I have a migraine. Like, why am I going to watch TV? That's just going to make it worse. So, that's how people knew that I was truly, genuinely not feeling well, because the TV never came on until the last night I was there, but I went home before that night, so. After those 3 days, I went home, and I was like, okay, I'm still going to be in pain, because, like, the migraines weren't gone. They were a little more tolerable, but it wasn't gone. The first night, I didn't leave my bed. Well, I did leave my bed, because we went to my grandmother's. So, the first night, we went to our really old house that my sister is currently moving into, so, like, she's gonna buy it from my parents, which is, I guess, nice, but anyway, we went to that house, and we were putting down carpet, but I tried to drive there because we wanted to take 2 cars. And we got like halfway there, and I started coughing and just gagging, and I couldn't do it, and I was like, my head is pounding. So I had to call my mom and dad, who were in the car in front of us, and I was like, pull into this gas station, like, I'm about to, no, I can't drive anymore. So we pulled into the gas station, and my dad and I switched spots, and he drove the car that I was driving. And I'm so glad that that's how that went, because, like, if my dad was driving, we both would have been, like, really sick. We both would have been throwing up. Like, it would have been bad because my dad can't do it. But, like, the second I get in the car with my mom, I start. And I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry. But whatever. So we get to the house, and they're like, just go to your grandparents. Like, don't come over here because you're not going to be of help. And it's going to be loud. And it's just not necessary for you to go over there. So I went over there. And I pretty much laid in bed all day. And then we came home. And then the next day, the same thing happened. The second I got up and moving, I started throwing up. Which sucked, because I was just like, you know, I want to move around. Like, I want to be active. And I want to help my parents because we're moving. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. And my sisters are in school. So, like, they can't really help because they get home from school. They do their homework. They eat. They do, like, their nighttime routines and whatnot. And then there's no time. So, you know, I want to help. I want to be of assistance and, like, whatever. But yeah, I couldn't. And my mom was like, we're taking you back to the emergency room. Like, you can't walk around. You can't do anything. It's not, like...
So we went back to the emergency room again. And started talking to him about, like, the problems I was having. And I was like, I'm fine if I'm laying down, but the second I get up and get moving, my head starts pounding, I start throwing up, like, it's bad. And he's like, these sound like post-spinal tap headaches. Or, I think the other guy called them post-lumbar pump headaches or something like that. Basically saying that when I got the spinal tap, there was a leak left behind, so then not enough fluids were making it up to my brain, which would cause a lot of pain, but if I was laying down flat, it traveled better, so that's why I was feeling fine. And he's like, so we're gonna try some medicine, and then if that doesn't help, you can come back tomorrow and we'll do a blood patch. I made a mistake. I asked him what a blood patch was. And I wish I hadn't, because I would have been, like, I would have known the next day, because I ended up going back. But I wish I hadn't, because I freaked out when I, like, started throwing up again, because I was like, no, I don't want to go back, I don't want to go back. So this is how a blood patch works, for those of you who don't know. They took some blood out of my arm and put it in my back, so that if there was a leak, I would get, like, a little blood clot right there, and fluids would start making it back up to my brain the way they're supposed to. Well, that sounded painful, because I remembered the spinal tap was super painful, and I was just like, I don't want to do that, like, that sounds painful, like, no, please no. So when I called my dad to tell him that I couldn't pick up my sister, because I was in the bathroom, throwing up, with a pounding headache, and I couldn't even keep my eyes open because the lights were just bugging me so much, and I knew that I wasn't going to make it to her school. So I was like, Dad, I just need to let you know, like, I can't go pick up Xandra. I'm sorry, I can't do it. He sounded frustrated, but he was like, okay, I'll figure it out. And so, like, he hung up, and he started calling around, I guess, and then I called him back a couple minutes later, because, like, it was getting close to time to pick her up, and I was like, did you find somebody to pick her up, or do I need to try to suck it up? And he's like, your Uncle Wayne's going to go get her. So I was like, okay, we're good, we're going. So, my sister, okay, I have 7, just so you know. My older sister, Brittany, walks in the door, and she comes into the room, and she's like, where's Daphne? And I start freaking out, because I know she's here to take me back to the hospital, because I know my dad probably called her and said, yo, take your sister to the hospital, she's still sick, and we need to figure this mess out. So I'm freaking out. I'm crying. I'm like, I don't want to go, please don't take me back, please don't take me back. I know what they're going to do, and I don't want to, it sounds painful, please don't take me back. So, like, the whole car ride there was a therapy session. She's like, Daphne, would you rather go through the 5 minutes of pain and feel better, or would you rather deal with this headache for the next month? And I was like, I guess I'd rather go through the 5 minutes of pain. But it sounds painful. Freaking out. Whatever. So then my mom calls her and she's like, hey, where are you at? Because my sister doesn't live with us. And she has kids, so, like, she's got to take care of her kids. So, my mom called her and was like, hey, where are you at? And she told her where we were, and we met my mom at McDonald's, and then, like, waited till, like, a child swap. So I went to my mom, and my mom took me back to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, they're like, so we can try caffeine through the IV, which apparently, like, they don't do very often anymore. The guy that was there the night before we went, he was like, I would order a caffeine through the IV, but I don't think we do them anymore, and, like, whatever. But the nurse that was there that night was like, I can call upstairs and see if we have any. So she called upstairs and they had some. And she's like, so what's the normal dosage? Okay, we have an 18-year-old female down here. Let's get this going. Because a lot of times when you have migraines and headaches, caffeine helps. And then my parents started talking to the nurse, and they were like, oh, well, we want to do a blood patch because that's what was recommended for us. So they were like, okay, well, we can, like, talk about it, we can work it out. I'm over here freaking out. Like, I told you I didn't want to do this. Like, it sounded painful. I'm so glad I did it, though, because I feel a lot better. I mean, my back is sore, but I figured that was going to happen. I feel like I'm boring you guys, because I've been talking for, like, the past 17, 20 minutes. Anyway, took care of that, did the blood patch, wasn't very fun, wasn't very pleasant, but whatever. And then I got admitted to the hospital. Again, the good thing is we went to the hospital, so I didn't have to get transported. That ambulance ride was scary. I I don't like being the passenger in cars. I'd rather be the driver. Anyways, yeah, got admitted that night, stayed the next night because I was on a liquid diet because I couldn't keep anything down. And then, like, we finally started real foods and I started to be able to keep the medicine down, so that was good. And I got to go home last night. Well, actually it was like yesterday morning. And now I'm home and I'm up and moving and I'm functional and that makes me feel great. Like, it makes me feel amazing. Problem is, I'm babysitting. And I can't do a lot of lifting. So when she wants to be picked up, it's a process because I try to get her to like climb up on stuff so that she's easier to reach so that I don't have to bend down and pull all that weight up because it hurts. It really does. But, you know, there's only one way to get through the pain, and that's to do the things that cause the pain. So, like, that's my story for how the girls' first week of school went. I wanted to start vlogging that week, but it would have been nothing really interesting. And I don't like when people see me and I'm miserable, so I didn't film anything. With that being said, that sums up what would have been our first week of vlogs. And I'm just gonna combine the first week and this week together. So that sums up what the first 2 weeks would have been, because I was in the hospital in and out for 2 weeks. So yeah, that I'm losing it. Like, I can't function. Anyway, so that explains how those 2 weeks went. And we're on what would be the third week, but we're just going to count it as the first week because everything's such a blur. And we will see how it goes. So I can't get a grip. I will see you guys later when I introduce you guys to my sisters. I guess I could introduce you to this one. This is Faith. So she's the youngest of us. Yes, you see yourself. She's getting her screen time right now, so like I'm just gonna let her get it. She's gonna be really mad later today when she asks me for TV, and I'm like, you already had your screen time, because I'm a little more, I don't know the word, but like my mom, like occasionally she's just like, okay, here, just take it, like, because you know people are busy sometimes, so like I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but putting a screen in front of the baby, they're distracted. You can get what you need to get done. But I think too much of it's not good. So, when I'm watching her, I try to limit it. And we're just gonna let her have her, I might give her like 15-20 minutes. So, that's how that goes.